Well, Sarah Johansen is the head of advocacy at CARE Danmark, an NGO working on climate change and improving the lives of people in rural Africa and Asia. She joins me now live from Marrakech. Hi, Sarah. Your reporting and much of the official consensus actually highlights that the world's poorest will pay the highest price for climate change. So tell us more about the impact you're expecting this changing weather to have.
Yes, good morning. We have in our new report, we set up 3 scenarios for how migration will look in the future due to climate change. And here we can see, if we look at 1.5 degrees of global warming, we'll still have some measures we can take. We can adapt, we can come up with new methods for agriculture, we can make weather planning scenarios. But if the global warming moves to 2 or 3 degrees, then it becomes much harder for the poor people to adapt to the climate change.
And what exactly will happen to them?
We see some of the cases we see it really comes down to water. You can see we have too much water, we will have drought, or we will have people have to fleeing for their home because they cannot longer use the land, they cannot longer grow their crops. I mean, so basically it comes down to that people cannot longer live in the homes they have now, so they will have to move. They will have to move internally, or they will have to migrate to other countries like Europe.
Right, and we've been calling them, of course, climate refugees, but they are not at all recognized with the rights of refugees fleeing conflicts, for example. Where are they left then when they flee for their lives?
No, that's correct. Yeah, that's one of the key problem with this is that climate change and migration is a very complex area. But what we do know is that climate change works as a multiplier, a threat multiplier to migration. So it reinforces other drivers to migration. And for that reason, we have not put up a coherent global policy framework yet to kind of deal with the migrants coming from climate change. So this is one of the key problems. They're not refugees. They might be migrants, they're displaced people, but we don't have anywhere in our global system to take care of them.
So do you think conferences like COP22, COP21 are helping? Are you encouraged by the progress in Marrakech, for example?
You could say in the area of loss and damage, which is the area under the COP dealing with the migration and displacement, we have actually seen some progress this year. So we are quite satisfied about that fact. They will come up with a specific plan within the next 2 years to deal with climate-induced migration and displacement. So that's positive. On the negative side, adaptation is really key for people to adapt to climate change now and in the future if we are reaching 1.5 and 2 degrees. And on the subject on adaptation finance, we don't see so much progress in the negotiations. It's still one of the big discussions here in Marrakech, and we hope it will end out well, but let's see. We still have a long way to go there.
Okay, Sarah Johansen, thank you so much for joining us from Marrakech.